Hi, my name is Dr. Balanoff, and I love to talk to you about all things dentistry. Sometimes the conversation is practice management, sometimes it's about whitening, sometimes it's about sports guards, and sometimes the topics are a little bit more controversial than what I would normally kind of pick up. Today what I want to talk about is an article that was recently published in the Journal of the American Dental Association, May 2020 edition. The title, and I've got the article here so I don't make any mistakes in my quoting, is Dentistry's Social Contract is at Risk. That title alone, me as a dentist, I find offensive. Because as a dentist who's been doing this for a long, long time, for many, many decades, I'm very proud of the social contract that I have with not only you as fellow dentists and auxiliaries, but the patients and the public in general. And in fact, it's so sacred to me, and I relish that so much that when I read an article like this, I have no choice but to kind of voice my opinion about what these two authors had to say. The premise of the article talks about the social contract that dentists have had with the public for decades, scores, hundreds of years, a long, long time. And basically what it's saying is that this social contract between dentistry and the public in general is something that is kind of implied. And they go on to say in their different headlines, as they talk about the history, and then they finally get to the root of really what they're trying to talk about, which is this social inequality that they're implying. And this implication that somehow dentists don't care about the public at all, and all they truly care about is cosmetic dentistry, is really not true. And in fact, the second big headline is the commodification, commercialization, entrepreneurialism, and cosmetic dentistry. And it goes on to talk about the opportunities for a renewed social contract. What I really want to read to you for a quick second is that they offer solutions. And their solution is bringing dentistry closer to the field of medicine, which I think we all agree on, but in certain measures, both educationally, administratively, and socially, culturally, implying somehow that dentistry has done such a terrible job and medicine has done such an amazing job that it's time for dentistry to emulate medicine. And I would argue that I think dentistry has done a much better job than medicine has, and I'll give you a few examples in a second. It goes on to say as well, regulatory bodies can demand changes to dental school curricula with a greater emphasis on societal health and prevention. Dentistry, more than any other profession I know, we try our hardest to put ourselves out of work. We do everything we can to try and prevent disease within our patients. We have patients come back on a regular basis to get their teeth cleaned professionally by dental hygienists. We advocate for the public to put fluoride in the water to try and decrease tooth decay. Dentistry has gone out of their way to give back to society so many different ways, whether it's different through some state, local, and national programs called MOM, Missions of Mercy. Dentistry is always giving back to the population. Now, one of the things they write in the conclusion, and this is really where I find the greatest offense to kind of what's going on, it is arguably the commodification of dentistry, a rise in commercialism and entrepreneurialism, and the growing demand for cosmetic dentistry that has nurtured an environment that favors those with greater resources, largely at the expense of those with greatest need for care, including the poor and the uninsured. I can't think of one dentist that I know that does not do something for free. We treat patients for free all the time. And although there's a need for cosmetic dentistry, the idea that we're doing it at the expense of the poor or the uninsured is just not true. All major dental insurances that I know, different companies, for example, Delta Dental, they all have a benevolent arm to their organization. One of the ones that I always like to reference is Delta Dental of Minnesota. What they offer to the states to which they serve are grant opportunities to help the public obtain better oral health. They've been involved in funding research projects They probably give out more toothbrushes and oral hygiene aids than any organization that I know of in the Minnesota, North Dakota, and Nebraska regions that they serve. So to think that uninsured patients are somehow being left behind is just not true. The final sentence of this: if dentists and their leaders are unwilling or unable to renew the social contract, choosing to maintain the status quo, it is conceivable that dentistry will lose its existing authority over addressing the oral health needs of society. So let's talk about that for a quick second. Dentistry and dentists, we are the mouth. We are the ones who take care of that. And we've done an amazing job of making sure that the patients that we take care of are healthier now than when I first became a dentist in 1983. Corporate dentistry, the companies that actually manufacture all the supplies and the equipment that we use, give back to the public in so many ways, whether it's giving away free equipment or free supplies. Dentistry gives away services in so many different ways, whether it's volunteering at a community clinic or engaging in missions of mercy, not only in the United States, but around the world. I know that me personally, I've traveled overseas countless times to help other countries improve their oral health care system. So this article, the idea that somehow dentistry is losing its social contract with the public, I don't believe it for 1 second. And I think that us as dentists, our dental profession, we need to bark back at people like this who somehow imply that we're not doing all that we can to do to try and make the public out there healthy. And my final thought of this, the idea that somehow cosmetic dentistry, whether that's in the form of veneers or it's in the form of orthodontics, is somehow helping only a certain segment of the population. I know that when I do big oral reconstructions with dental implants, the way that I'm able to transform that person's personality and allow the true person to come out once they have a smile is transforming in a way that very few professionals will ever feel in their entire life. So cosmetic dentistry is part of dentistry. Cosmetic dentistry in the form of veneers, crowns, orthodontics, and other things that we do allow patients' personalities, their inner being to flow out because of what we do as a dentist, which is to give them their smile. So cosmetic dentistry, absolutely important to those patients out there that allow them to be who they want to be. I will fight articles like this all day long, and I hope you'll join me in that fight because we do so much for the public, and let's celebrate that.